On the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They thought that the bullet would silence us, but they failed.
I did everything in my power to be a good student. I dreamed of one day going to one of the best universities in America. But despite my efforts, there were still people in my life who told me that I was setting my sights too high, that a girl like me couldn't get into an elite university.
My identity is challenged, and my actions are heavily scrutinized. I am simultaneously silenced into shame while being expected to apologize for the actions of a small group of people. We all have a responsibility to challenge a growing culture of ignorance rather than justifying xenophobia and prejudice under the veil of free speech.
It is okay to be scared. It is okay to cry. Everything is okay, but giving up should not be an option. They always say that failure is not an option. Failure should be an option, because when you fail, you get up, and then you fail, and then you get up, and that keeps you going.
You know what it's like when a family struggles to make ends meet. You know what it's like to be overlooked and underestimated because of who you are or what you believe in or where you come from. And the world needs more girls like you. And the world needs more girls like you growing up to lead our parliaments and our boardrooms and our courtrooms and our universities. We need you. We need people like you tackling the pressing problems we face: climate change and poverty, violent extremism, disease.
We have this thing in minds. We call it perfection. We want everything perfect. We want ourselves to be perfect. There is this image in our head about everything: perfect life, perfect relationships, perfect career, perfect amount of money that we need to earn no matter what. Nothing is perfect in this world. We all are perfectly imperfect, and that is perfectly all right.
You might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
And hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born.
Welcome to Unity of New York.
Ain't a person here who is anything short of a superstar. God is in us all, we got the power to accomplish anything. So keep on keeping on, never give up reaching for all of your dreams. I'ma make it by any means. I got a pocket full of dreams, baby. I'm from New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Unity, New York. These people make you feel brand new. The speakers inspire you. Unity, New York, New York, New York. One hand in the air for the big city. Streetlights, big dreams, all looking pretty. No place in the world that can compare. Put your hands up in the air, everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Unity, New York. These people make you feel brand new. The music inspires you. Unity, New York.
Good morning and happy Sunday. You're here, and here we are. Welcome to Unity of New York. My name is Sarah Dacey Charles, and I am co-director of the Prayer Chaplain program here, and I'm here to read to you the daily word. If you are feeling perhaps a little down or discouraged today, this word is for you. It's comfort. Look at those beautiful bears comforting each other, just like we get to experience comfort. Today's affirmation is, I find comfort in expressions of love. Once again, I find comfort in expressions of love. Speaking the words, I love you, provides comfort for an aching heart and peace in times of uncertainty. Today, I open my heart to these loving expressions as a soothing balm for distress and grief. When I am concerned about another, love centers me in the truth that all is in divine order. No matter how the circumstances appear, I enfold the people I care about in a sphere of love, encircling them in peace and protection. When I am troubled, I find comfort in others' loving words. I surround myself with those who offer silence or solace in the time of need. I find encouragement in their kindness and compassion. As we share of ourselves in kind and loving ways, we hearten spirits and bolster faith, giving comfort to ourselves and others. Today's Bible quote comes from Thessalonians 2:17. Comfort your hearts and strengthen them in every good work and word. Let's talk about prayer. Just one brief announcement before I tell you that there's many ways to pray and many ways to offer and find prayer comfort and prayer solace. As one of the chaplain coordinators, I'd like to just let anyone know, if you are interested in becoming a prayer chaplain yourself, this is the last week to let us know that you are interested and to sign up to attend an orientation, which is coming up a week from today at 2 p.m., March 26th at 2 p.m. on Zoom from 2 to 3. You'll learn what it means to be a prayer chaplain, how you could become one, how the training, what's all involved. So there will be a further announcement down the road in the service. I encourage you to look at that announcement and write down any information. So thank you for that. Let's talk about prayer and silent unity and how amazing this is. It is the mothership, as I like to call it, and there are people, real people at phones anytime, day or night, who will take your prayer call and your prayer requests and pray with you and hold what you pray about in confidence. And then they will hold that prayer request for the next 30 days and pray over it. It's amazing. You can access this anytime by calling 1-800-NOW-PRAY. Also, there's the You Pray app. You can download it. It's free on your smartphone. You, the letter U, pray to type in prayer requests, listen to meditations, and read affirmations. And also, I invite you wholeheartedly to come join us every Tuesday and Thursday for a guided global healing prayer call. It's 5 minutes of your time. It starts at 9:45 a.m. sharp. That's Eastern Standard Time. And you can come and listen and let your voice be heard as everyone comes in and says their name. And that is 267-807-9605, access code 798-460#. It's a great way to shore up your own prayer life and also feel connected to this wonderful unity community of New York. And with that, I wish you a happy Sunday. Till next time, bye now.
All that I
Tony, I love how you always add a little spice at the end. That was beautiful. You look beautiful. And Sarah, you look beautiful. You are beautiful. I think that along with today's daily word of comfort, I would like to add the word beautiful because we've already seen a lot of beautiful. Leo, thank you for that beautiful countdown, another beautiful, powerful countdown honoring women during Women's History Month. And I want to share that affirmation. The word is affirmation. Again, that Sarah shared. I find comfort in expressions of love. We've already seen a lot of expressions of love this morning. You are an expression of love. And by the way, do not adjust your set. I am wearing a tie. I don't know if you love my tie as much as I love my tie, but it is in honor of this last day of winter on Spring Eve. Tomorrow, no matter what a groundhog or a meteorologist has predicted, it is the first day of spring. And we've had days recently in New York City that have indicated that spring is just around the corner. So tomorrow at 5:24 p.m., it is when it officially becomes spring. So if you're able to get outside in the park or wherever you are and go connect with nature at 5:24, I have a feeling it might be a powerful seed that you have planted. And anyway, good morning. I'm so glad we're together again on this Sunday morning, the only March 19th, 2023 there will ever be. I am Reverend Britt Hall, Senior Minister at Unity of New York, and I'm so grateful for this community, for this ministry, and for you who are the ministry. Even if it is your very first time here with us, I am so glad you're here. And I hope that you'll let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on our website, unityofnewyork.org, you're not able to chat or comment, but I'm equally glad that you're with us there. And I say welcome home to this beautiful place of beautiful people. There's that extra daily word today, beautiful. And, we hold strong to our mission and our vision statements here at Unity of New York, where we're here to provide a spiritual home where community may gather and know that all good comes from God within. And we continue to hold the vision of a world consciously unified in love that leaves no one out and invites everyone in. I find comfort in expressions of love, leaves no one out and invites everyone in. That is our goal here at Unity of New York. And we have things going on every week. Even if you've heard this before, you might hear something you've never noticed. You might hear something in a new way. Zoe, will you remind us what's happening during the week at Unity of New York?
Unity of New York continues to offer classes, groups, and workshops virtually on Zoom. For Zoom links, email info@unityofnewyork.org. Sunday mornings, join Unity of New York teachers for The Quest, a pre-service spiritual discussion group at 9:30 a.m. The weekly discussions are based on a chosen topic or book. Everyone is welcome to join at any time. Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m., join Unity of New York Staff Minister Reverend Sean Moninger for his weekly spiritual discussions. All are welcome and encouraged to join. Wednesdays at 10 a.m., Senior Minister Reverend Britt Hall leads our weekly dose of fellowship at the Community Connections Hour with co-host John Canary. Pop in to see some friendly Unity of New York faces and share what's going on in your world. Or just listen. Everyone is welcome to join. Unity Minister Reverend Chris DiGiorgio leads Unity Pride and Spirituality Group. For specific dates, check the events calendar on our website. For more details on all of Unity of New York activities, please visit our website at unityofnewyork.org. And as you continue to navigate through your lives, please remember that Unity of New York is always here for you. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to us at info@unityofnewyork.org, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great week, everyone.
Hey, Unity community. My name is Sarah Daisy Charles, and this is Melanie Schmidt and Laverne Jones. And we are the co-directors of the Unity of New York Prayer Chaplain Program.
Our chaplains are a trained volunteer prayer team who offer one-on-one prayer after Sunday services, monthly prayer calls, and prayer visits to our congregants who are hospitalized or homebound.
If you've ever been curious about what a prayer chaplain does and think you might want to be part of the chaplain team here at Unity of New York, we will be holding an orientation session to answer all of your questions.
And at this session, you will learn everything you need to know, including training dates, commitments, and other information at this 1-hour Zoom orientation session on March 26th from 2 to 3 p.m. Thanks so much. We look forward to hearing from you.
And we have an additional thing happening coming up with Unity Senior Adventures. Wednesday, March 29th is a busy day at 12 noon. The festivities begin at the Fashion Institute of Technology. And then at 1 p.m., close by is Macy's, and the annual Macy's Flower Show is going to be on. If you've never seen that, it is something to check off your bucket list if you didn't even know that it was on there. And that's 1 p.m. And then at 2 p.m., the final activity of the day is going to be happening at Andrew's Coffee Shop, coming together at one of the few diners left in New York City. So if you're interested, email unityusanyc@gmail.com and join up. You don't have to be there for all three. You can start at FIT at noon, or you can join along the way. And it's always a really awesome experience to get together with the Unity Senior Adventures. I've done many of their adventures with them. It's great. And I also want to thank Sarah and Laverne and Melanie for all that they do in leading, co-directing the Prayer Chaplain program and ministry. Prayer is the bedrock of this ministry at Unity of New York. And check with your heart if you are feeling a calling at all to be a prayer chaplain. Check it out next Sunday afternoon, 2:00 on Zoom. They will just email us at info@unityofnewyork.org, and you will receive the Zoom link for that gathering and find out all about the prayer chaplain ministry. I hope you'll consider it. And we are so blessed today to have back with us again Reverend Sean Moninger. He is in the house. There he is, Sean. How you doing?
Sean, you've muted yourself.
There we go. And Leo, if you could slide me over a little bit somehow. I like your tie, Britt.
Thank you very much. I like your shirt. That's awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. I agree.
We kind of, I wonder if this would go with that today. It kind
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit?
No, you're all in purples. This is blue and gold and white.
Oh, it looks black and white to me. It looks, whatever color it is,
navy,
it looks awesome.
It's navy and blue and white. Hey, a couple of things there I saw on the announcements. I think the three senior adventures, the first one said Tuesday, the 29th.
Oh, well, it's Wednesday. It's all the
same. All Wednesday, the 29th.
Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes our proofreaders.
Please, we're busy. We do things. Also, Mike, reminder to everybody: no class for me this week. I'm still with UWM, doing interviews. So no Tuesday group this coming Tuesday.
Okay, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I forgot that. I thought you were back on this Tuesday, but you're on the
No.
following Tuesday.
Yeah, because for the field ministry, I'm doing progress interviews, bringing in new ministers and making sure they're progressing as they ought to be progressing.
How did that go? How I know that was it yesterday that there were interviews, or no?
Now,
Yesterday
yesterday
was
was the intensive. If you'll recall, on that when you were in the weekend, you did the intensive, and it was fantastic. Reverend Randy Fickey did a thing on diversity and worldwide inclusivity and being out in the world doing things. I couldn't begin to explain it to you, but it was great. And the morning session was all about self-care. We all need to do that.
Yes, we do need to do that. Yes, we do need to do that.
I I've had a hard week in Palm Springs this week.
Oh, bless your heart. Was it hard being by the pool?
It rained once. One day it
Oh,
rained.
oh,
The funny part,
Sean.
but
Oh,
thank
I'm
you,
so
thank you.
sorry.
Here. Last Saturday, I had the privilege and the blessing of officiating the wedding for my half brother and his now wife in Phoenix, and that was a wonderful thing. I've only met my half brothers a handful of times ever, and they really wanted me to come out and do that. They flew David and I both out to be there and for me to officiate. It was a great honor. I'm very grateful.
That's very cool. I know that you did have a good time. I personally like it better when you refer to it as marrying your brother.
Yeah, I know. Some people from Unity of New York corrected me on Facebook. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to feed that. But I did use it at the wedding. I did. I got up there in front of everybody. It was mostly bikers, believe it or not. My brother is a biker, and he had everybody wear their Dixon flannel shirts and bring their bike. Everybody who has one, and I said, I'm blessed to be brothers with JD and Michael, and I got more than a few looks back east when I said I'm going to Phoenix to marry my brother.
Well, I loved ribbing you about that.
They laughed a lot. They laughed a lot. I was so relieved.
Yeah, well, you've now married your brother, and I married my sister. So, hey, what can you say? The duties of being a minister.
There's nothing odd about this.
There is nothing odd at all, depending on which state you live in. But we are here
and all
now.
States are good. I
all
prefer
states
the state
are
of
good.
confusion. I prefer the state of confusion.
All states are good. And I'm just so glad you're back today. And I'm also really, really looking forward to our dear friend Leo, the man of many, many talents, singing today.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
He's doing one of my favorite songs. He's doing another one of my favorite songs. One, I forget who it was written by. The second one was written by David Friedman. You may have heard of him.
It sounds familiar. Yeah. I don't know.
He's very good. Look, he's not the ambassador to Israel. He's the other David Friedman.
I think that the other one is by William Finn, I believe.
I think you're right.
I think the show is called A New Brain, maybe.
I think you're right.
I don't need to be, but I like it when I am.
But I think you are. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Well, Sean, I'm just so glad to see you, and you look absolutely fabulous. And again, along with the Daily Word of Comfort, today's Daily Word continues to be beautiful. You look beautiful. You look beautiful.
I can't help
it. And I would like to experience a beautiful meditation right now.
Let's do it.
So you ready to take us there?
Take a breath, everybody.
See ya.
We're going in. Put your hard hats on. We're going in. There we go. Leo gives me these candles every month so we can do an open eye meditation so that we can watch the flicker of the candles. And when we begin to have thoughts, we go back to observing the flicker of the candles. We don't even have to think about the flickering candles. We can just notice them. So take a breath and breathe in. Breathe up. up to the highest part of your being. And when I do this, I like to affirm that the Christ in me is awake now. For those of you who care to, would you affirm that with me? The Christ in me is awake now. For what is the Christ awake in me except my full memory, my full awareness of God as a living, active presence within me? It's my memory of wholeness. It's my memory of harmony. My memory of health and well-being. My memory of wealth and well-being. Christ in me is awake now. As I watch the flames flicker, and I think that the Christ in me is awake now. Life in me is awake now. The presence of God is awake in me now. The strength of God, the power of God is awake in me now. The intelligence of God is awake in me now. The life of God is awake in me now. As I observe the flickering candles, I continue to breathe gently in through my nose and gently out through my mouth. I stay aware. Life awaken me. Love awaken me. Presence awaken me. Power awaken me. Intelligence awaken me. All that God is awaken me and active in every cell, every tissue, every fiber of my being. All that God is awake in me now because the Christ in me is awake in me now. We're going to take that into the silence, that thought, but continue to observe the flickering flames of the candles, knowing because the Christ in me is awake now, all of God is awake in me now. Let's go on in. Life awakened in me now. Love awakened in me now. Peace, joy, intelligence, presence awakened in me now. The Christ in me is awake now. So knowing this, let's start our journey back here, continuing to observe the flames until we get all the way back to this sanctuary, this place called Unity. And as we come back, let us come back refreshed, renewed, and fully aware of the good that has just taken place, that we may say thank you and amen. Okay, anytime, Leo.
Anytime you laugh, anytime you cry, anytime you hear a sound, when you're on the grass, lying on the ground, anytime you wash your hands, I'll be around. I'm up there in the baseball field, though I'm well concealed, I'll be out there cheering. I'll be there in the books you read, it is guaranteed I'm not disappearing fast. Anytime, no, not anytime. And I all. Yes, I'm watching it all. Oh, and I'm there in music. I am there in sky. I don't know why this thing did happen, but this much is clear. Anytime or anywhere, I am there. Anytime you pray, anytime you fight, anytime you've gained a pound, anytime it's day, anytime it's night, anytime the earth moves, I'll be around. I'm up there in the maple trees in a summer breeze on a perfect evening. I'm up there when you celebrate, when the world seems great. I'll be waiting by your side. Anytime, yes, anytime. And I am there each morning. I am there each fall. I am present without warning, and I'm watching it all. Yes, I'm watching it all. Oh, and I am there in flowers. I am there in snow. I don't know why this thing did happen, but this much is clear. Anytime you cry, anytime you sing for anything, I'll be there each morning. Oh, I'll be there each fall. I don't know why this thing happened, but this much is clear. Be aware, I am there, I am there, I am there, I am there, I am there. I am there, I am there, I am there.
Leo, that was so beautiful. That was extraordinarily beautiful, and you look like $1 million doing it. I like your shirt. Today's talk is called Anytime in the No Time, and that has confused many people. Now, what does that mean? Well, I'm here to tell you what that means. It's so simple. There is no time in God. God has no time. Time is something we have made up. We meaning the human race. We've made up time. We use it about the earth spinning around the sun, what have you. But still, we have made it up. Until a human being said, this is time, this is it, to give us structure, really. And the thing is, everything we seem to do to make progress limits us in some way. And I thought about this song for today, Anytime. I am there. I am there. It's actually, I am here. That's not I'm there. I am here. I am wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so to notice that it's not just an indication that the service is over. That prayer counts for a lot. Where God is, and all is well, and I just froze. How could that happen? I apologize, everybody. I don't know how, but it's so well, and then all of a sudden it goes, and I don't because something else on in that. And Leo, can you hear me, or am I just?
I can hear you. It's again that thing where it kind of will probably fix itself. So just hold tight before I disconnect you and have you come back. And
but does everybody hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Just it's getting better.
Okay, if I'm fuzzy, I don't care.
Yeah,
As
you're
long as
coming.
everybody can hear me, I'm fuzzy.
Okay,
It's
you're
not
coming
about how
back.
I look, it's how I sound.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, terrific. That just happens. Anyway, this time, in this time, uh, so I'm experiencing a fuzzy screen in front of me. Maybe you are too. Hopefully you understand my words. Because see, that's the point. I don't know who all of you is listening that has studied with me to remember what I say the cause of all suffering is. And the cause of all suffering is that I am here and I want to be there because I think there somehow is better than here. And it's it isn't. There is never better than here. Here is because here's the only place I can be. Now we were on a long flight the other night coming back from Palm Springs, and I could only be where I was, or otherwise I was going to be very unhappy. If I was hoping to be at JFK before I got there, I was going to be creating suffering in my life. And we flew through Phoenix. We were over an hour late getting out of Phoenix, and again, I couldn't afford to be unhappy. To wish, oh, I wish I was already at JFK. Oh, I wish we were already in flight. Oh, I wish. And I know every time that I thought about it, I felt unhappy. I experienced, well, call it suffering. So it seems to me the cause of all suffering is being here and wishing I were there. Now, I looked this up in the Holy Spirit's interpretation of the New Testament. You know, I like this book a lot. And this comes from the 6th chapter of Romans. And it says, you are eternal. All of eternity is within you. God is eternity, and the extension of God is you, but you have shut off your mind to the eternity, to the eternity that is there. You've looked away and promised to look at only a fragment of your mind. And this is why you believe in time. You believe a fragment is now and everything else is not now. But everything is now. Eternity is in your mind, and you are in the mind of eternity. And Jesus, who shares your mind with you, is the symbol of your recognition that this is true. Imagine, if you accepted, I am here now, I am nowhere else. I am here now, and I am nowhere else. And here in the now is where God is as well. And so I accept that I'm here now with whatever thoughts I'm having, knowing that my thoughts might very well not be true. But I'm still having these thoughts. And I accept that I am here now with these thoughts, that God is here, whatever God is here with me now while I'm here now having these thoughts. And so to pay attention to that and realize, oh, I'm not there. I'm not in the past. I'm not, today I have a lovely memory of the wedding with my brother last week, but I'm having that memory today. I'm not in last Saturday. I'm here today. And so I can share my experience with that. And I'm creating a whole new set of feelings about that wedding last week. Last Saturday when I was there, I had those feelings. I had those thoughts. Today, talking about that wedding, I have these thoughts. Today, talking about the flight the other night, I have these thoughts. Talking, I could look at my conversation with Britt just a few minutes ago. That was then, and this is now. Do we understand the difference? It's not like, oh, I wish I could go back to that conversation with Britt. I would say this, or this differently. No, but I wouldn't, clearly, because I was in that consciousness then. Now I'm in this consciousness. If I were to have another conversation with Britt, which I probably will do at the end of this service, that will be with the consciousness I'm experiencing then. But right now, I have this consciousness, and I'm doing this talk, this wonderful, wonderful talk about time. I wear a watch because I have a certain amount attachment to time. And so I wear my watch to tell me what time it is according to our agreement. And it's funny, in the past couple of weeks, time has been really wonky for us because we were in Arizona where they do not turn clocks forward or backward. And so I knew when we got to Phoenix it was 2 hours different. But then last Saturday, the clocks changed and suddenly it's 3 hours different from New York. But it became the same time as California. So when we got to California last Monday, no clocks changed. And I'm still having to think, okay, so we're 3 hours different than what do you call that place? New York. And then flying back the other night, I noticed my watch changed times. It's like, okay, now are we 2 hours behind or what? I was very confused. I thought, will we ever land? Because I know what time we're scheduled to land, but my watch keeps telling me it's more hours than what it was. Do you understand that what I'm saying here in that with all this attachment to time, I leave the present. And we're told God is presence itself. I could rob myself of so much joy by leaving the present, by not sitting in the presence of God and allowing myself to become conscious of the presence of God in me. It's why I enjoy the candlelight meditation, because looking at those flames, I become right here and I become right now, and I'm just in it. And I have no goals, even though I might get divine ideas while I'm looking at the candles. I'm having those divine ideas right now. So today we're at a Unity of New York celebration service right here, right now. We're not in our past relationships. We're not in our future relationships. And so much of New Thought is about set your goals, plan for a bright future. And I say plan for a bright present, right here, right now. How do you plan for that? By deciding now is good, and I'm good in the now. Now is good, and I'm good right now. My neighbor is good right now. People I like are good right now. People I don't like are good right now. And we're talking about the presence of God. So within the presence of God, all is capital G, good. There's no opposite of it. And it's got nothing to do with behaviors, and it's got nothing to do with feelings and thoughts. It's got to do with what is. Because what is right now, any time in the no time. So I can look at my clock and see 11:43, but that's really, in God, there is no time. So it is not 11:43 in God. It is now in God. Right here, right now. And it thrills me when I'm willing to practice this, when I'm willing, if I'm driving down the street, if I'm walking, if I'm doing my job, if whatever I'm doing, that I can so envelop the present time, the present being, that I'm not worried about when it starts. I'm not worried about when it ends. I know that there is a divine timing for everything, and I am divinely guided in my thoughts, in my words, in my actions. I am divinely guided, and I'm willing to know that all beings are divinely guided, even if they are doing some of the most atrocious things. They are guided by their current consciousness. I am guided by my current consciousness. You are guided by your current consciousness. Now, are you willing to know that? Because otherwise, we're going to sit around regretting the past. I've known people, you get together with them and you have a great spiritual conversation, and then they say, yeah, but what if this happens again? And so what we're doing now is sitting here worried that what happened yesterday is going to happen tomorrow, and we have left the moment. I'm worried that what happened yesterday is going to happen tomorrow. And even if I think what happened 2 weeks ago happened again this week, it's different. It's a whole new experience that feels very familiar. So if I can own that, it sure feels like the same thing happened, but I'm not the same person I was 2 weeks ago. And it didn't happen to me. It happened, and I am experiencing it. And I mean, and I get it, we're in an earthquake. We're under attack by another human being or several human beings. And it seems like, it's happening to me or at me. But it's actually happening from within me, and it's happening right now. The reason for my suffering is I'm afraid it will continue into the next moment. I fear the next moment will be even greater pain than what I'm experiencing now, or greater fear than what I'm experiencing now, or greater anything than what I'm experiencing now. And that's why I have created time, is to create that worry, that length of time for worry. But in the no time, if I look at it and I say, there's no time in God. It's not a rule that this has to continue. I could change my mind about it. And I'll bet if there are other people involved, they have the possibility of changing their mind about it. Do you ever, when you are imagining an encounter with another person and you say, well, I know what they're going to think. I know what they're going to do. They're just going to do this. How do you know? How do you know? If today is Sunday and your next encounter with them is going to be on Thursday, how do you know who they're going to be on Thursday? And how do you know who you're going to be on Thursday? Would you be willing to transform yourself? Transform your thinking, your mind, transform your vision, transform your words, transform your whole entire body, so that Thursday couldn't possibly be a repeat of the last encounter. It couldn't possibly be an opportunity for misery. If the only opportunity is for joy and clarity, then next Thursday, when it gets here, of course it will be now when it gets here, it will be your opportunity to know God in a whole new way, to know yourself in a whole new way, and to know this person in a whole new way, so that you are not writing up a contract with them for how they have to behave in order to disappoint you, or in a way to not disappoint you. We don't need to be right about being wronged anymore. We have so many opportunities for love these days, and every day. But right now, oh, can you imagine right now if you and I were willing that all beings be joy-filled? And so some would say, well, I am. And I say, terrific. But observe your thoughts. Observe your politics. Observe your victim in any way. Observe and say, am I willing that all beings experience joy? Or does anybody have to pay a price before they're allowed to be joy-filled? Pay attention to that. And we're only talking about in your mind. And so let's pay attention to all that. I'm going to read this last thing here. And it's based on Matthew 24. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with in the Bible of Matthew 24, but it's talking about the end times. And people are asking Jesus about, when is it going to end? When are you coming back? And all that. And Jesus is saying, there's going to be lots of people who call themselves Messiah. Don't believe them. There's going to be lots of people. Don't look for the second coming in the human form. The end will come. Now, I don't think it's about worrying about the end of earth, the end of the physical. Really, can I be bothered living my life in fear of when and how I'm going to die? I know it's a curiosity for most of us, but nevertheless, what if the end times is the end of our belief in duality? What if the end times is the end, the completion of our belief in God and? What if the end times is the end of our belief in you and I? What if the end times is the beginning of our understanding of unity? What if the end times is the beginning of our seeing that this world really isn't as real as we think it is? It's based on what we think about it. And what if the end times is the beginning of us having true thoughts about everything? What if? And we can know that anywhere we are, God is, and all is well. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. The world is temporal, and nothing within it will last forever. That which you perceive as holy within the world will not last, for nothing holy exists within the world. Now, what does that mean? Nothing holy exists within the world. Well, I think holy is eternal, and the world is not eternal. The world is experiential, and everything in it is temporary. But the world can be the reflection of holiness, and it is that reflection that I would have you see. The world is confusing and painful for those who believe that it is real. In vanity, they will search for hope there. Do not look to the world for hope. Hope is not within the world. Look to me, meaning Spirit. Look to me for your hope. No, I don't mean Sean, but look, Spirit is saying, look to me for your hope. Look to truth, that which does not change, for your hope. Look to the good for hope. Rather than, well, I hope so. I've heard that before too. I've led some beautiful prayers, and at the end somebody says, well, I hope so. And I just really, and I get it. We have trauma. A lot of us have a lot of trauma from the past, and I don't want to negate that. At the same time, I'm not going to let you off the hook. We all have the same opportunity for healing. Every single one of us has the same opportunity for healing of our mind, our word, our actions, our body. So pay attention to that. It says here, your faith will seem to be tested if you look to the world as real, for if the world is real, my word cannot be. Do not be afraid that my word, meaning Spirit's word, is not real. Hold on to it. The trials and tribulations of the world shall come to pass, but my word will last forever. So I want to come down here to this end part. And it says, the world is a place of illusions, because its reflection is a deception and untruth. Listen to me, meaning Spirit. I'm telling you what I want you to know. The end is not how you have imagined it. For the end is not a time of separation and suffering. The end of time is a blessing brought about by the release of the belief in separation. For the end of time is the end of the world, and the world is the reflection of this belief. When you notice that the world is everything I say it is, you are becoming ready within your heart. When you prefer love to conflict, do you hear that? When you prefer love to conflict, you will begin to listen to me, Spirit. When you prefer oneness to separateness, you will ask me how to think. When you are tired of loss, lack, and suffering, you will give yourself to me to be made complete. All this you can choose, and in all this I am with you. So people, in the anytime in the no time, now is the best time. Now is the only time that we can look within and realize, I prefer love to conflict. I really would, at least I would rather prefer love to conflict. If that's where you need to start, you start there. I would rather prefer love to conflict. I would rather prefer unity to separation. Imagine that, oneness to separation. So imagine it, and if you already would rather do it, I do prefer it. Either that or I would rather prefer it. And then to keep exploring how your willingness can expand. Anytime in the no time, we give thanks now that we would be willing to discuss these things, to look into these things, to look into this new way of thinking, so that we don't ever have to believe in the absence of good again, so that we don't ever have to believe that there's an absence of love, an absence of health, or an absence of well-being, an absence of wealth. There is present. Everything I've just listed, it is present and it is active. Health, wealth, harmony, it is active and it is present in the now. And so let's get on board with the now, the now, the now. Leo's about to sing a song David Friedman wrote called As Long As I Can Sing. Now, some of us don't believe we can sing, but there is a song in all of our hearts. Every one of us, whether we can sing it out loud vocally on pitch or whether we can sing it within our heart, we all have a song. And so let's move forward in our now into the next now and the next now as Leo sings his song.
When the dreams have fallen through. When my friends just can't be found and there's no one else around, I know I have you. When my heart is filled with pain and I don't know what to do, you are always there for me, and whatever comes to be, I know I'll get through. As long as I can sing, as long as there's a melody inside of me, I have a voice, I can face anything. As long as I can sing, you could take my world away, everything that I possess, but it wouldn't get to me. These things are not the key to my happiness. As long as I can sing, as long as there's a melody inside of me, I have a voice, I can face anything. As long as I can sing, and I'm alive when I open my heart and let go, 'cause I can fly on the wings of the song in my soul. As long as I can sing, as long as there's a melody inside of me, I have a voice, I can face anything. As long as I can
Beautiful.
Oh, Leo, that was so fabulous.
It was. Did you notice he changed his shirt and went to a different part of his ashram to do that?
I did notice that, but oh my God, all those little clips of Unity services and Full Monty and Avenue Q and Forever Plaid. Oh my God, that was so cool. That was
Yeah.
so cool. And Sean, thank you. That was great.
Oh, thank you.
That was great. One of my favorite things, and it was rich, full of favorite things, was we don't have to be right about being wronged. That's a bumper sticker and a t-shirt and a book title.
I've been saying that for a lot of years.
How have if I've ever heard you say it, I never heard you say it.
I've mostly said it in classes, and you're usually busy doing something else when I teach a class. But over the years, that's why I always said it in classes.
And I don't know if you realize that a couple of weeks ago, I wrote about time in the newsletter, in the weekly newsletter.
I do remember, but I forgot. Yeah, you did it when you were turning back the clock, weren't you? Or turning the clock ahead?
It was, it's not worth going into. It's in the past. It's not in the now moment. Now is all there is. And at least I hope so.
Yes, it is. It is for me, as is
I
this next
hope
part of the
so.
conversation.
I do want to say one more thing. It was funny you were talking about your watch because a few years ago, Lewis and Paulette Pipe, she was in town visiting us, Reverend Paulette. They went to see and hear Thich Nhat Hanh when he was at the Beacon Theater, and I was gifted with a watch from there that said on the face of the watch, it's at 12, 3, 6, and 9. It said, "The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now." So,
I like
hey,
that. Do you remember the clock
I
I
like
gave
it
you?
too.
Do you remember the clock I
What?
gave you years? Do you remember the clock I gave you years ago?
Oh, I do.
What
I
did it
do
say on
very
it?
whatever.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I
Whatever.
didn't like Yeah, I didn't like that affirmation that things were all over the numbers were all over the place. I'm like, it's like when I used to set all my clocks ahead 5 minutes so I would be on time, and then I remembered all the time that they were set 5 minutes ahead. So, the time is now. Hey,
Yes.
Sean, do you know what is happening in the now moment on Sunday, April 9th, 3 weeks from today?
No.
No?
No.
Leo, will you remind us?
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing.
Really hope to see so many of you there. And we have divine service opportunities if you are interested in volunteering for anything, especially transporting. You like that?
I liked it right in front of my chest. Help wanted.
For Sean, help wanted for Sean. There's so much to be said about the now moment. It's better than it just saying wanted. Oh God.
That's funny.
Okay,
Right.
Leo, scene. Anyway, we have opportunities to to especially help us transport things from the Unity office to Symphony Space and back again. But if you want to be a divine service angel, let us know at info@unityofnewyork.org.
Yeah, come
And
participate in your church.
and we'll be doing an in-person love offering that day. But right now it is time for the love offering. Sean, what do you think about that?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are you being fed at Unity of New York? Are you? Is this if you're on here? I assume it's your spiritual home. If you're on here, perhaps you're already pledging. If you're on here, perhaps you're considering. Well, it's the time of love offering again. Could I give what is due for what I receive? If you're already doing it, fantastic. But if it's still a challenge to you, I invite you to step a little higher in your thinking and say, I got to give this a try. I really do. When I was asked in the beginning to tithe and forgive everyone, I found out tithing was the easy part. And so I started tithing and everything changed. 10% of my income went to where I was spiritually fed. And at that point, it really was unity for me because that's where I kept going back again and again and again. I went to so many classes a week and I did so much. And my life changed. My life changed radically. Through my giving, I got over my fear of money. And I didn't get a pile of cash right away, but I got a sense of peace around money. I didn't dread looking at a bill. I didn't dread any of that. So it really is a spiritual exercise, this act of giving to where we are spiritually fed. And I love what Edwin Gaines says, do not tithe to charity. And Unity is not a charity. Unity is a spiritual home. Just give all you want from your other 90% to charity. But in this, you keep it special to keep that Christ awakened in you and say, I want to see how this works. I'm not giving to get more. I'm giving because I have received. And always when I give because I have received, I always end up seeing more of something, some piece of good. I always end up. So today, consider it as Leo in a second is going to show everybody all the different ways they can give, but that's in the material, that's in the physical world. But how are you going to give in spirit? Which way are you going to give in spirit? With the willingness for confidence? There is no other way, really. I'd list any other way. So today, ask, what's mine to give? Because I'm giving to myself, because I'm giving to my church as my church. There we go.
There we go, in the now. I like that. I always like hearing what you have to share about this. And yeah, I am certainly fed, which is I love to give. Giving is a sacred act. And
You're amazing, Brett. You're just amazing with the giving. It's impressive.
I love to give, and I love giving back to Unity of New York because it's all of us. I love giving back to you because we are Unity of New York. So Leo, remind us how easy it is. I mean, the different ways that we can give back to ourselves and each other, and therefore extend that energy outward on planet Earth.
Why, certainly. There are 4 ways that you can do that. There's our website, unityofnewyork.org. There's a donate tab right there, and then follow the prompts after that. You can use your phone to go to PayPal, paypal.me/unityofny, or text the word give, GIVE, to 718-313-3674, or mail a check to our office. That's Unity of New York, 225 West 99th Street, New York, New York, 10025. And those are the 4 easy ways to give back.
And as we give, and for all types of giving in our lives, we know that divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Yeah. Sean, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Leo. Thank you so much, Leo. And thank you, Brad. I always enjoy my time with you. You know that. And thanks to Unity of New York.
Back at you. Thank you. And thank you all. I'm so glad we were together today, or whenever you're watching. I'm so glad you're tuning in, because just like the movie that just won all the Oscars, everything is happening everywhere all at once at the same time, because in God there is no time. There is the now moment. So if you're watching at a different time than Sunday morning, we're still feeling that frequency that brings us all together. We are one. And let's come back to that daily word of comfort. I find comfort in expressions of love. Speaking the words, I love you, provides comfort for an aching heart and peace in times of uncertainty. And let's take that into prayer. We started with prayer. Thank you, Sarah. And we bring that. There are these times of the need for comfort and some uncertainty. And so as we share today's prayer for protection, let us see this in our lives, in our homes, in our cities, in our states, in our country, in our world, sending this energy of these words out, knowing that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we are, God truly is. One of the things that Reverend Sean shared today is to plan for a bright future. Whoops. Take 2. Plan for a bright present. So we're going to plan for a bright future by planning for a bright present. The only time is now. And I wish you a wonderful now moment throughout this week. Thank you. Know you are loved, and we'll see you next week. Happy spring.
I am there, I am there, I am there, I am there, I am there.
appreciate you, and we behold the very Christ